Hey, Tim Sykes here, and I wanted to do a video all about where I think the best opportunities are right now and what I think many people are missing. I get questions nonstop every day. I'm going to start off talking about Jack Kellogg because he is arguably, my top student turned master right now. In the past 4 years, he's made $10.5 million, and I think 7 or 8 years now since he joined my challenge, he's over $12 million. It wasn't overnight. In this new Business Insider article, we'll go over it in a little bit to, just explain some of the key tenets of his strategy. But this Thursday night, we're actually doing something very cool. I'm putting $500,000 of my own money behind this, and Jack is going to explain his next big trade. And it's not just one big trade, it's actually several. And I'm literally putting $500,000 of my own money. So I'm putting, my money where my mouth is. This is going to be a free event you can tune into Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. I'll post a link just below. As I film this, we have just a little over 2 days before this happens, but I'm really excited. No one is forced to try any strategy that you're uncomfortable with, but I do think that it's good to try different strategies that have gotten people rich, especially in a few years, especially when, if you just invest in the S&P 500 or a lot of these big companies, you might make, 10, 20% per year, which is good if you already have millions. But if you have a small account like me and, now 40 of my Millionaire students, we started with a few $1,000s. So you need to partake in speculative strategies because 10 to 20% per year just ain't worth it. So Jack is going to go over his next big trade. During this, he's actually giving away a free trade, his next big idea during this event, just to reward people for wanting to learn. Because it's not just about, picks, but we do understand that in order to really get excited about a process, it's good to see it in real time. So Jack has a free big trade alert that he's going to be giving this Thursday. He's told me a little bit about it, and I'm excited for him to reveal all the details on Thursday night. But just before I get into this strategy that I think that will really help you, I do want to highlight a few tweets. One tweet, I said, I really wish more people could get to experience the everlasting beauty, fulfillment, and enjoyment that is financial freedom, as 90% plus of your problems can be solved by studying your ass off and getting ridiculously rich so you can live far above the rat race that holds people back. I mean every word of this, okay? You get to choose what you do, with your money once you get rich. Like for me, I love, treating my family, taking care of my family. I've traveled the world. I've had all the luxury stuff. I'm out of my luxury phase. I now give back millions to charity. My charity, Karmagawa, is closing in. Actually, not even closing in. We're over $10 million in charity donations. A lot to small charities so that we can track where every dollar goes. 120 schools, but I'm not trying to brag about, oh, look how rich I am. I want you to understand that it is great. Too many people are like, no, money is the root of all evil. Like, you don't need money to be happy. I get so many messages from you guys. A lot of your problems, I wouldn't say 100% is solved by money, but like 90% of your problems is solved by money. Okay. And I encourage you to try to get ridiculously rich. You can give it back if you want, if you feel like guilty about it. Some people are like, oh, do you donate because you feel guilty? I donate because I love it. I love going to communities. I'm actually here in Asia right now at a new charity project that we're doing, and I'm just totally in love with, giving back and helping different communities. But if you feel guilty about being too rich, and you're like, no, I don't want to be too rich. Like I see a lot of millionaires and billionaires that don't want to give any money to their kids. They want them to earn it. That's fine. You do you. Whatever it is that you want, you get the freedom to do it. That's why it's called financial freedom. Too many people, even if you weren't rich, you still have problems. Whether you're rich, whether you aren't rich, you have lots of issues. So I'm not saying that this cures everything, but a lot of the problems that you guys message me about can really be solved by money. So I'm never going to stop trying to teach you to get rich. I'm never going to be a communist. I'm never going to say like the best things in life are free. I'm sorry, it's just not true. Being financially free allows me to sleep so well at night and really indulge in my passions and allow me the ability to choose what I want to do every day. Too many people in the rat race, you don't get a choice. you're exhausted by the end of the day, especially some of you working 2, 3, 4 jobs just to get by. And you're working these hourly paid jobs and it sucks. So I want to show you another way. And, this is why I want to show you this video. This is Warren Buffett. He just had his Berkshire Hathaway annual summit. But just listen to this video. I think it's very telling.
Not at least deploy some of it.
And they're talking about he has, nearly $200 billion in cash. And he's saying he can't deploy it effectively. But listen to what he says.
Well, I think that's pretty easy to answer. I don't think anybody sitting at this table has any idea of how to use it effectively, and therefore we don't use it, and we don't use it now at 5 point.
Let me just go to the end because I have things to do. I can't even listen for 45 seconds. But listen to this last sentence that he says.
We only swing at pitches we like.
Not at least.
So he says we only swing at pitches we like. This is such an important phrase. Now, Warren Buffett, father of value investing, like long term. Again, many people have made a lot of money over decades with him, but I don't like long-term value investing right now. I think the markets are overvalued. This is why him and I actually agree. Like cash is king, especially if you can make 5% interest. But he says we only swing at pitches we like. And whether you're a value investor or a trader, I can't encourage you enough to do this. That's why, with Jack's next big trade, you don't have to follow every play that he does. You don't have to be like, oh my God, this is amazing. But learn why he's swinging at certain pitches, why he bets so big. Because if you actually look at Jack's gains already in 2024, nearly $800,000. SOUN, Fannie Mae, he's making literally like annual salary type gains. And then also, IBIO, NKGN. And these are like $50, $100, $200,000 profits. Compare that with me. I'm into 6 figures now in 2024, but my biggest gain was a few weeks ago on AUVI, 4,800, and this was actually a pretty good sell. But my biggest gains are 4,800, 3,700, 3,500. I just had a $1,500 win roughly today as I'm filming this on GSUN. So you get to choose what pitches you want to swing at, but I can't encourage you enough to try to understand why Jack and I swing at the pitches that we do. GSUN, a lot of people were like, why are you chasing this play? This is a morning spiker with NASDAQ recompliance news. If you look at the past 5 or 6 big spikers of the past week, they're all NASDAQ recompliance plays. So recognize what's working. In a week, 2 weeks, a month, 2 months from now, am I going to be playing NASDAQ recompliance news? Probably not. But right now it's working, so I bought it. I made nearly $1 a share. Some people said, like, how did you know it wasn't going to drop? Because I'm, already chasing it. You don't. You never know if you're going to win or not, okay? This looks nice, and it actually got to the 7s, but I think it closed in the 4s. So by the end of the day, shorts aren't wrong. But if you've watched my last 30, 40, 50, maybe even 100 video lessons, I've been playing short squeeze stocks. So a lot of these stocks that spike in the morning, they finish low by the end of the day. Shorts aren't wrong for building their positions early in the day because, sometimes it's a fight to borrow shares. Sometimes they're like averaging in. But shorts are wrong for rushing in too aggressively. And while many shorts, wealthy shorts, are building their positions and holding till day end or the next day and banking, many newbie shorts rush in and then they get clobbered. They're shorting GSUN in the 5s, 6s. This is a chart of GSUN, and you can see it closed like right at 5-ish. But this is the long-term chart, and you can see it's just classically downtrending. So shorts aren't wrong to want to short it, especially whenever it spikes, because it's probably going to resume its downtrend. Sorry, I don't have my software open, so I'm just using big charts right now. This is just a random, cheap website, free website for charts. You can see how slow my pages are loading. I barely have any Wi-Fi here. I don't disclose the location of where I am exactly because, frankly, I'm in some of these third world countries. It can get a little dangerous. But this is a short squeeze, okay? From the 3s to the 7s. And I took it from the low 6s to the high 6s. So I was late. But again, look at this. I can't even get, hopefully this video goes through. I can't even get this web page to load. Oh my God. Please don't crash video software. This is funny. I don't even know if we're recording right now. Like the whole video might be choppy, but this is what I'm dealing with. I'm just trading these stocks that are spiking near the open, given my time zone, given my lack of Wi-Fi. And this is a short squeeze. Okay. So I don't care that it comes down. Congrats to you if you shorted in the 7s or the 6s and now it's in the 5s, and it'll probably drop to the 4s or even the 3s. But this is the kind of spike that I'm looking for, given my schedule, given my internet, given what I think is working right now. So in Warren Buffett terms, I took the pitch that I saw and I grabbed it. Jack Kellogg does not do these kinds of trades. His trades, if you click on all the trades, he details them all. He holds several days, if not several weeks. Okay. He is much more patient than I am. So that's why I'm proud to teach you stuff that works for me and my lifestyle. And I'm excited for Jack to teach you a more patient way. And I think that it's good to take a little something from every trader and make your own trading process. I'm moving $500,000. I'm not moving 5 million. I could move 5 million, but I don't want to. I'm dipping my toe in the water. And $500,000 to many of you is a lot. I mean, it's more than a lot to most people. And it's more than a lot to me when I was growing up in Orange, Connecticut. But now it's not as huge of a percentage of my savings as, it used to be. Or a crazy dream for many of you to have $500,000, because I know many of you have like $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. But long story short, I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I'm going to try Jack's patient strategy because he's been so successful, and not even just because he's been so successful, but because he's detailing every part of the process. That's the beauty of this, okay? I never want you to just follow anybody's picks. I want you to learn the process. And if someone is not willing to share the process behind their picks, you shouldn't be interested. Just like many of these traders where they don't show all their trades publicly. Jack shows all of his trades publicly, okay? This Business Insider article, they really go deep with your results. And I just want to talk about a few key things here. I'll post a link to the Business Insider article, and I'll post a link to, what Jack and I are doing on Thursday night. But look at this. He's adapting, okay? In 2023, he took advantage of the AI hype, trading AI stocks within that theme. Even as the broad market remained slow, AI stocks were getting much attention. He was able to day trade on that momentum. And mind you, for day trading, for them, it's like, 1 or 2 days. That's day trading. For me, it's like 1 or 2 hours or even less. He said there was an opportunity to catch some stocks on the downside by shorting them, but to be a bear in this year's market, 2024, you'll get run over. So he says for this reason, he's mainly steered away from shorting stocks. And I agree completely, okay? I used to short sell all the time. I've made millions short selling. I don't begrudge anybody who short sells. I just think that there's poor risk reward right now. And Jack agrees. So according to tax documents viewed by Business Insider, he recorded trading gains of $10.5 million 2020 through 2023. His investments continue to grow in value this March, as his broker statements showed. So anybody who thinks that like we're faking trades, Business Insider looks at all of the documents too, and they did this for me too. But anyways, he's basically saying this: if the market has a big green day, it's usually a good time to trim some swings or sell a few shares. On down days, he reminds himself that the market's on an overall uptrend, and theoretically the dip should be bought. So he's also, trend following, and again, kind of taking a big, high view on his plays. Like I saw with SOUN, I was ripping on it at first when he was buying it, and it didn't really do anything for 2 days. I mean, he talked all about this during a challenge webinar. Didn't do anything for 2 days, but on day 3 it spiked big, and he was adding on dips too. So that's what this is all about. This is all about having a big trade idea where it's not just in and out so quick like my strategy. So I want you to understand that Jack and I, we might trade similar stocks, but, no different than my other 8-figure student, Tim Grittani. Jack and Grittani trade big based on data, and they're willing to, hold for longer. So I'm going to put $500,000 to work with Jack's strategy. We'll see how it does. I'll obviously alert you along the way, but I'm excited. And more important than just how I do, because remember, I donate 100% of my trading profits to charity. I want to donate more to charity, but it's the process that matters. So I want you to tune into this free event Thursday night, May 9th at 8 p.m. Eastern. I'll post a link below. All you have to do is enter your email, and it's completely free. So you can love it, you can hate it, you can rip on it, you can learn, you can not learn. But at least just keep your eyes open to this, because there's so many different strategies to getting rich. And I really do stand by this statement. I know it makes me sound bad, but I don't care, okay? I don't have time to just, be politically correct about how I word everything. Like, you guys need to get wealthy, okay? And you need to try every single strategy under the sun to do so. Whether it's my fast trading, which I think is ideal for small accounts, or maybe, Jack's more patient approach. And again, you don't have to trade with size too. Never forget, Jack Kellogg made nothing in the beginning. He's just at a point right now where he can take size and it's meaningful. So, you choose what kind of existence you want to have, what kind of life you want to live, and what kind of strategies you want to try in the stock market. But I really do think that you should try so many strategies and implement little, golden nuggets into your own strategy. I mean, even if you don't like Jack's next big trade idea or you don't like his process, there's going to be lots of little golden nuggets that he shares during this free event. And it's free. Like I said, you have no risk whatsoever. The only risk is not learning. And I can't tell you how many people have so much potential out there, but they don't study, they don't put in the time, they don't learn from successful traders, they don't learn from transparent traders. If you're learning from a trader who posts one or two big screenshots every 1 or 2 or 3 weeks on Twitter, and they're like, yeah, I just take one trade and then I'm on vacation. That's BS, okay? There's a reason why my top students and I get these big interviews and we show all of our trades, because we're real. And that's something that's very unique in this sad industry. So I should also mention, many of you are like, oh, I'm talking to Jack or me on WhatsApp or Discord or Telegram. You're not. You're talking to imposters. We don't have any of those platforms. We don't do Q&A with any random people. I'm sorry that there's so many imposters and scams these days, but that's it. If you want to learn from me, you know where to come. And now if you want to learn from Jack, you sign up below. I really, really encourage you to attend this event. And I really, really encourage you to pay close attention to what he says and take it seriously and see how you can implement it. Even if you want to trade with small size or paper trade, or even if you're not ready to trade, it's so good to learn. And, if I wasn't co-hosting this event, I would tune in. Seriously. You're never too wealthy, you're never too successful to stop learning. And especially when a new guy finds an angle and patterns and rules that really work for him. And not just him, he actually, mentors a lot of students now too in the challenge, which is awesome. But it's definitely worth learning from and listening to and taking notes. Don't just attend and watch something else on Netflix and kind of pay half attention to this. When you register, when you tune in Thursday, May 9th at 8 p.m. Eastern, we want your full, undivided attention, okay? Your finances, your life, your future, it's worth it. And the most success that you will have will come from the smallest details. You really need to take your education seriously. You can't half-ass it, okay? Jack was just a valet when he first started watching my videos. He's parking cars for other people, and, now, guess what? He's bought several cars himself, and he's living the dream only because he studied his butt off, and he's taken my lessons, he's taken my patterns, and adapted them based on his data, based on his personality, based on his, real obsession for progress and improvement. That's what I should mention the most. This article goes into a lot of the themes that he talks about, but what the number one thing from, that I've learned from him is really just how obsessed with progress he is. Even in Japan, we're sumo wrestling, and I was just taking it as a joke, and he got very obsessed, and he actually beat one of the sumo wrestlers. And the sumo wrestler came out. He was surprised because Jack was much smaller, just as an example. But anyways, tune in Thursday night. I'll post this link. It's 100% free. If you want to keep taking intraday trades like I did on GSUN, by all means do, but I think it's good to learn Jack's strategy too. And please congratulate Jack and thank him in the comments below. He doesn't have to share this stuff, but he wants to pay it forward, and I love it. Cheers. I'll see you guys in chat.